Does the entity known as Sara on this plane have a name she prefers to be called?
If you mean this physical body, no. No, nothing. Everything's the way it's supposed to be.
How about for me?
The same.
Okay. Kind of a social question coming up now.
Uh-oh.
Did you enjoy yourself while we ate at Denny's the other night?
That experience was quite enjoyable. It had been a long time since I had ingested a physical nourishment in the form of a meal and a variety of foods. And yeah. You know, I mean, I've almost forgotten what it felt and tasted like to be in that environment. And so, yes, it was enjoyable. I wouldn't want to return to it anytime soon.
Why is that?
I'm enjoying where I'm at right now.
More so.
More so, yes.
I just wanted you to experience it again.
Mm-hmm. And it was quite enjoyable. Oh, the waiter was so upbeat. I could feel his positive energies.
Austin is a good person.
Yes, he is. That's his name. And his little sister, I remember him calling her little sister. I had to find out from someone else what her name was.
I don't remember the name. Do you?
Olivia.
Okay.
A lovely name.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it stuck in Sarah's memory, which meant I could snag it.
Okay.
Yeah, the rain is picking up.
Yep. Another question.
Yes.
Can a splinter from your realm enter into an animal? Or are animals their own realm?
They're pretty much their own realm, and the vast majority of other splinters or beings, as you know them, don't prefer to come back as an animal. They prefer to observe and remember what they observe and feel from animals in the event they become corporeal somewhere else or again in this 3D plane. Because animals' energies are generally just because they are smaller. Even large animals are smaller spiritually. So they don't necessarily invite other spirits in, higher energy spirits. They recognize when they're around and they might like to be with them to feel the energies. Then the reverse, that even relatively low energy beings don't want to enter into animals' energies. It's actually confusing if you're not a high enough energy being yourself. It's confusing for those with lower energies if they try it. So to truly answer your question, the possibility is there. It's just not something that most spiritual beings want to do.
Is there a progression of growth for animal beings, spirits, where they get to a point that they, since they also are energy and consciousness like we are, they get to a point where they decide to form a larger spirit? And can they eventually get to the point that they are almost human?
I suppose the same answer applies, that the possibility is there, but there are so many possibilities anyway. They're usually, it seems to me, quite content to be who they are.
Okay. What about elementals?
That's
Are
a
they
whole...
basically a lower form of energy?
They're very much lower.
Are they in the same energy level as, say, rocks or trees?
More so than rocks and trees, but not by much.
Okay.
They have a little bit more consciousness, but they're, again, emotions, their inner cores are not developed. They have not developed to the point where their consciousness makes decisions to be better.
Okay.
Did I express that very
yeah,
well?
You did. I understand that. I've met a lot of people like that.
Yes, there are human beings who have not developed, they're not even truly aware of their own potentialities.
Yeah.
And they're more apt to be open to elemental types.
Yeah.
Usually with not very pleasant outcomes.
Not to talk about Sara and I in a greater than thou type of attitude, but most people I run into appear to be lower energy and frequency than either one of us.
It depends, because just as your frequencies can modulate and
Right. Okay.
wave up and down, so to speak, so can other people's. And many times when you're meeting this other person, another physical being on this planet, they may seem very intelligent, but emotionally they're lacking, and then their energies get kind of pulled down, so to speak. And so, yeah, but at the same time, if they're in a position where they're being, for whatever reason, the best whatever they can be, whether it's a woman trying to be the best mom she can be, or a CEO of a company who has vague recollections once in a while and listens to them as how to, he built the company, or he helped it to be built by others, and he remembers how good it felt to help others and to work toward that. But sometimes his daily distractions mean that he doesn't dwell on that. And you may not be meeting him in that position, or her, at that time. If you happen to meet them, such a person, let's say in a gathering of something that you're passionate about and they're passionate about, like science fiction or something, and you go to a convention or something, which I have a feeling you won't do anytime soon. But the potential is there that you might want to.
Too many people.
Yes, I know. And then that CEO might be in a different mindset at that same convention, and you happen to meet and find something that you would get excited about, and the two of you just yak, and that uplifts you both. You never know. It might help that particular CEO to be a better CEO and a better people person, quote unquote.
Okay.
There's so many, there's just so many possibilities.
Let's go back to a family discussion.
Okay.
Does either my brother Ken or David know the other is there?
I believe I believe that Dave was part of the group that welcomed Ken.
Cool.
So yes, they're aware. They're also aware that they're both on different paths, so to speak, even there. And if they happen to cross paths, they wave,
Okay.
and go about their business.
What about my dad?
He has observed them from afar. He's at a place where He's not going to run up to them and embrace them. That may come later, which actually isn't later. It's the same time. But yeah, he's holding off. Not all beings who have passed physically, no matter when that may have been, feel the need to reconnect at that immediate moment. It might happen at another time or in another area that they're exploring. But it isn't as important to them as it is to the physical beings here on Earth to have those connections.
Okay. Does my brother Ken know of his family, his children, and his grandchildren that he's up? Can he sense them from up there?
If he so desires, he can peek in on them, so to speak.
And they're all glad he's in no more pain.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he's dancing a jig.
This one is a little, you could consider it blaspheming in a little way. I'm not sure. Blasphemous?
Blasphemous.
Yes. Which came first, all there is or consciousness?
Well, it's not blasphemous. All that is.
Okay.
All that is recognized its own consciousness, and that's what spurred him to want to explore and have other experiences. And he knew that would have to come from other consciousnesses. That is hard to say. And so you talk about a big bang. His consciousness expanded. I said his, but its consciousness. It just sounds so impersonal. And all that is started out that way. And as its consciousness expanded, and it recognized that it could help his consciousness become individual, to expand even more and to learn even more and experience even more. And then he that's archaic from her mind. Yeah. And then it began to appreciate the individual consciousnesses and their expansion, and found emotion in itself, tenderness and caring, compassion toward these other consciousnesses. So it makes sense that religions everywhere and in every time and in every realm and every, well, I shouldn't say realm, but
world.
Yeah, but different worlds, different
civilizations.
The word escapes me right now.
Can you describe
dimensions?
it? Okay.
Dimensions.
Am I still rubbing off on you?
Yeah. Where was I? That they had to tone down all that is consciousness in order to comprehend it, and then begins the worship of a higher power, the spirit. What is it? The Great Spirit, or God, or Allah. Or there's a ton of, Krishna, although, there's just a multitude of words.
Yeah.
But that's because a physical being limits their own consciousness to where they can't comprehend all that is. It's too overwhelming. And so, yeah, they have to tone it down, And sometimes they pull it down, which, isn't always a good thing.
So I guess that explains why the universe is still expanding then.
That's part of it, yeah.
Okay.
Because all that is, its expansion is infinite, and it's never going to stop.
Okay. Because my next question was about the Big Bang, but you already answered it, so I won't worry about that.
It wasn't quite the way your scientists consider
I
the
know.
universe.
Yeah, it's not, but we understand that consciousness creates all and matter.
Yeah.
Consciousness and energy together create all matter.
Yeah.
So the Big Bang is defined as you defined it, acceptable to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. Hopefully it's acceptable to others.
I had a question before.
Oops.
No, that's okay. Oh, some scientists believe that a black hole, you're familiar with that, Amar? Society.
The concept, yes.
Yeah. A black hole actually ends up being a white hole on the other side, so to speak. Is there any validity to that statement?
It's just the way your scientists and the three-dimensional beings that they are can explain it.
So
Eventually, someday, they may come to a broader, more accurate description. But black hole, white hole, it's pretty much all the same thing.
if it's pretty much the same thing, why is one black and one white?
They're not black and white. That's what your 3D scientists define them as.
So they actually are the same thing?
See.
Simple yes or no.
Yes or no.
Okay.
Yes and no.
That's enough for now.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into a scientific discussion where Sara doesn't have the
No, she's like,
syntax.
yeah. And it just depends on where you are and what is happening around you, whether you might want to call it black or white, whether it's sucking things in or spitting things back out or whatever. And even that is not a true description of how they operate.
Can you provide a better description?
Nope. Your scientists will someday figure it out.
Okay. Let's talk for a moment or two about the consciousness of trees.
Mm-hmm.
Do they all have names?
No.
And how do they communicate with each other?
I think you might know this already.
I do,
But the underground root systems and the little feathery systems can send energies back and forth. Now you're familiar with the, is it the aspen
yeah,
tree, that it's really one tree,
one tree.
even though there could be hundreds that you could count individually above ground. They are literally one. In your in your 3D rendering, they came from one seed, one root. But the concept of them being connected, they are literally connected because they are from one seed and one root,
Right.
one root system. But other trees, you have a whole lot of trees of different kinds
Yes.
behind you and your neighbors here. And yet they can all, through their own root systems, especially the finer roots, they can help each other. They can send each other energies. They don't talk like we're talking, but they are very aware of their surroundings. And they can give energy out to people, to animals. And they receive, I was going to say receive it back, but that is not grammatically correct, I am finding out. But they can receive energy, not just from the sun, but from their surroundings. And that's why one reason why it's so hurtful when human beings just cut them down willy-nilly. It's different when you're pruning a tree. Maybe it has a broken branch or a branch that's dying. But pruning is helping them then to send their energies up where they're needed, where it's needed. And that's different than just whacking away at them because it's in your way or whatever. So yeah, they're actually quite tender, compassionate, without knowing that that's what it is. They just feel it, and they feel the energies intermingle, and yeah, it's beautiful.
So can they tell when a logging company has gone through and cut down a lot of their brethren?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What does it feel like to them?
It starts out sad, but then they start to realize that there are reasons for that the bare two-legged creatures require their wood. And after all, that's a lot of the reason why they grow. And then they're okay with it. It's not like they're thinking it out in words, but it's like, oh no, oh wait, it's okay, that's good. And then new growth can come up. Okay, this is a good thing, kind of.
So they assist the new growth?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
A lot of times the stumps that are left still have life in them.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And yeah, so they can connect and help with that new growth. Yep.